What's up everyone, Hadex Gaming here, and today I want to do some fact or fiction testing in Necesse. I'll be testing things that I've heard rumors about and see if it works. Fact or fiction number 1. Trees change if there is snow placed under them. So right here we have all the different types of trees and some snow tiles, so let's place it under each one of them. We started off with the Christmas tree, banana tree, coconut tree, lemon tree, apple tree, and undead tree, and now we're on to the willow tree, palm tree, pine tree, spruce tree, and an oak tree. As you can see, this is indeed a fact and they do indeed change for regular and fruit trees. However, it doesn't apply for the Christmas tree, the undead tree, and it does turn the willow tree into an undead snow tree. Fact or fiction number 2, you can skip treasure rooms with a hoverboard. There are two types of treasure rooms, one with blade darts and spike traps, and the other with traps and a memory game. Let's try it out against the spike traps, and as you can see, that did not work. So let's try it out against the memory one. Turns out, as long as you press the first one and the last one, the doors will open. I'm going to say this is indeed fact for one treasure room, but not both. But I'll just show you once more so that you can see it wasn't a fluke or by chance. Fact or fiction number 3. Despite the tooltip not telling you, hoverboards give you +2 travel distance when moving between islands. So reading the hoverboard, it says, used to summon hoverboard mount, picks up speed slowly. Nothing about travel. So let's see. I'm at the edge of the map and I can travel 3 tiles away to the forest village. Now if I equip the hoverboard and try again, I can indeed travel 5 tiles away to the first question mark. If I check the buffs, you can see it shows it too. So this is indeed a fact. I'm also not sure if this is an oversight, but when using a travel scroll, it only grants +1 travel distance. As you can see, no hoverboard, I can only make it to the lava island 2 tiles away, but with the hoverboard, it's only 3 tiles away, giving a +1 instead of a +2. Fact or fiction number 4. The Traveler's Cloak adds mobility when swimming in lava. Here is how fast I swim without the cloak. And after equipping it, this is how fast I swim now. I definitely didn't swim any faster, so this is indeed our first bit of fiction. Fact or fiction number 5. We all know the Gelatin Casing trinket affects ranged and magic projectiles, but it does not affect melee and summon. So the Gelatin Casing does say, increases projectile bounces by 10. So to test this, I want to try it out with a basic boomerang and a boomerang that actually bounces, the Chef's Special, which changes to nearby enemies, and then test a summon that shoots, such as the snowman. So here we have the basic boomerang, which returns after the first hit. And then for the Chef's Special, it does chain to enemies, but it doesn't bounce the 10 times as mentioned by the Gelatin Casings. Finally, to test out the summons, we have our snowman, and let's command it to attack this dummy. As you can see, the projectiles aren't bouncing either. I did a quick test just to test the shurikens or ninja stars, and also the frost javelins, as I thought they might count as a projectile. But by the looks of things, they don't bounce either. This does indeed only affect ranged and magic projectiles. This test has proven that this bit of information was indeed fiction. Fact or fiction number 6. If you create a new game without an initial spawn for the Elder, and make it to the Fallen Wizard, he will be the Elder that would have spawned. This is indeed fiction, but would be a neat little Easter egg added to the game for doing a no settlement run. Fact or fiction number 7. All weapons and armor become viable endgame gear when upgraded at a Fallen station. So let's take the basic nunchucks and upgrade them to tier 5 and then compare it with a tier 5 antique sword. Starting out, we have the nunchucks with 18 damage in this current armor setup and the antique sword with 92. So let's upgrade both to tier 5. We now have the nunchucks with 166 damage and the antique sword with 170. As you can see, the damage numbers are compatible. Let's see if it's the same with armor. So if we take the demonic armor and compare it to the tungsten armor, the demonic armor has a total of 35 defense with +3 due to the set bonus, and the tungsten armor has a total of 58. At tier 5, the demonic armor has 152 defense with +6 set bonus, so 158 defense in total, and the tungsten armor has 152. So as you can see with both weapons and armor, upgrading them can definitely mix up the variety and shake things up. This is indeed a fact. Fact or fiction number 8. 2 different bosses will fight each other. Now the only way I have found to test this is with the 2 overworld bosses, the Evil's Protector and the Ancient Vulture in a desert. So to make this happen, I need an ancient statue, a suspicious portal, and to fight them at night. So let's spawn them both in and see what happens. As you can see, this is in fact fiction, and they'll just team up to ensure they both get fed. Fact or fiction number 9. You will win every raid if you just convert all the water on your island to lava. As you can see, I have a small island settlement here, and I'll just set the raid to be the hardest, and that I've completed all the bosses. So this took some time, but it's done. With the dev consoles, let's spawn a raid. As you can see, it wouldn't let me. At first, I thought this was due to not having enough water for them to spawn into, but I was also wrong about that. I then hired more people, and it turns out you just need a few more settlers to spawn a raid. Anyway, they all died before they could even get near my island, so this is indeed a fact. I feel to combat this, they should just spawn in on hoverboards if they were set to spawn in on lava, and then if there was no water or lava, then they should spawn in mounted on an ostrich. Fact or fiction number 10. You can feed ducks bread and seeds. So with some bread, wheat, and grass seeds in hand, let's go track down a duck to feed. As you can see, I'm right-clicking and left-clicking and just throwing seeds. Unfortunately, you can't feed the ducks. That is fiction, but it would still be pretty chill to see later on in the game's development, not to mention kinda wholesome. Fact or fiction number 11. Bombs and dynamite can mine higher than your pickaxe power. So let's get a wooden axe and test it out against regular cavestone, frost cavestone, swamp cavestone, and desert cavestone. And in each of these, I have the respective ores as well to go with it. So copper, iron, gold, and then frost, ivy, and quartz respectively. First, we start with the stone, copper, iron, and then gold. Next, onto the snow ores, and then you can see it stops at swamp and desert. So let's try and mine them with bombs. Now let's try and mine them with dynamite. As you can see, it does indeed work to a certain extent. From what I've also tested, dynamite will outperform bombs to a certain extent in the deep variations. This is indeed a fact. Fact or fiction number 12. Traveling between islands that have land extending to the side via minecart will keep you traveling via that minecart. As you can see, I've set up a minecart that goes to the edge of the world and set up on the other side as well. This does indeed work, but I believe you have to have it lined up perfectly, as I did test and you just end up floating in a minecart. Fact or fiction number 13. You can use bones on snow wolves within the frozen caves to tame them. So here I am, bones in hand, and whilst he does seem interested in me, he won't accept the bones, so so this is indeed fiction. This would be a cool update to see down the line, and it may even start a companion overhaul. Fact or fiction number 14. If you have too much money, you can put the coins into a furnace to melt them down to gold bars at a conversion rate of 100 coins to 1 gold bar. So here I have a full stack of coins, and as you can see, I'm trying to drag them into the furnace, but it's not working. This is indeed fiction, but also, who even has that much money to spare? Fact or fiction number 15. You can tame and rope penguins and ostriches. So I've got a rope, let's head to the desert to leash an ostrich, I guess. So this one didn't make me chase it around, but it is roped, so let's head on over to check the snowy animals. Alright, we are at the snow biome and there are some penguins. And just like that, you can tame them too. And a sheep. And maybe a polar bear? Okay, no polar bear. But it is indeed a fact, you can rope and teleport with a penguin, or an ostrich, or even both. Well, this was an extremely fun video testing all of these out. And if you have any others, who knows, I might even make a video showcasing some more. As always, if you learned anything new, had fun, or enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more Necesse content and care to stick around, hit that subscribe button. But as always, I'll see you all next time.